My dad is probably my best friend. I can tell him whatever. My aunt and I laugh and joke around and stuff. My mom and I, she's honest with me, and I can be honest with her, and we don't get along all the time, but
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh.
I love her so much. She's a good friend too.
Yeah. But, in the beginning, I think one of the most important decisions that we made right after Jason's diagnosis, even before we began the advocacy or anything, we decided we were not going to keep this a family secret.
That's tough to do.
Yeah, it
Yep,
is because
yep.
there's such stigma around mental illness. But we decided that we were going to tell our family members. And
Good
we
for
were gonna
you.
let them know that Jason had been diagnosed with a brain disorder, not unlike another, disorder that you might have in your body, a lo
Respiratory.
a respiratory disorder, lung, heart, kidney, anything, but, and this would be with him for the rest of his life. He would take medication that would help him to deal with the symptoms, but we were not going to shield him and shield this, diagnosis from our other
Well,
family members. We told our church friends. We
Mhm.
told, our neighbors, they know, because they knew Jason and they cared about Jason too. So that was an important step, deciding we're not going to keep this a secret. This is not different from any other disease or disorder that you might be diagnosed with, and you need help.
well, I think it was 2008, 2009. I was in a good place in recovery. I was as good as I am now, but I've always been a writer. Writer is my first love. I have to write.
Mhm,
It's part.
It
It's
ha it's a
more than
release.
it's
mhm.
a release. It's more than therapy. I like that way of thinking creatively
Mhm.
and putting it on a page. Found Schizophrenia Bulletin who has first person accounts. If you have schizoaffective schizophrenia, any kind of form of schizophrenia, you have first person accounts and you realize you are not alone. And then I was like, I felt the need to write these first person accounts. It's an academic journal. I I don't have an academic behind. I just have my experience. I have my truth, and I write that.
Mhm. Your chronic truth.
My chronic truth.
There
That's
you
that
go. Hey, da-da-da.
yeah, and
Well, and I feel with that, Jason, you being so open and honest about your feelings and what you deal with personally, you are giving space for someone listening or reading your items, uh, comfort and hope that they're not alone.
That's
And
the point.
so for you going on and doing this blog, I try to share as much as I can only because I truly feel it's an asset to others.
Thank you.
So,
I think so too.
A
yeah.
lot of the older articles, Schizophrenia Bulletin, they put it away. They just
Okay.
show the extract.
Okay,
Well,
so they
I cite them and I put it back online
good
on
for
my
Mhm,
you.
blog, and they don't seem to mind. I mean, I'm mentioning them usually.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, and, one of the things when I first began researching schizoaffective disorder, one of the things that and that was, as we've already established, several years ago, there were no, lived experiences. I could not find one
mm-mm,
single person who was talking as a parent about how their family was dealing with a loved one who had a serious mental illness. None. And so that was the big piece that was missing. So that led me to form my Facebook group, Parenting Through Mental Illness. And I try on there to share things that I run across in my research that might help a parent who has a young child, maybe even diagnosed with autism or some other kind of disorder that they're having trouble dealing with, just to give them information too. And of
mhm.
course, Jason posts a lot of his articles on there from his. So it's really a joint group that we have on Facebook, but just to help parents who are starting this
Yep.
journey and don't know what is the first step to take.
And you know that all too well because 'cause you've lived it.
Yes.
And
Well,
what
he
better
struggled
knowledge
too.
is coming from both of you who have lived through,
Yeah.
as patient and as a trusted partner. You guys are on the forefront